Hey son, everyone. It is so good to see you all again. I hope you're doing well. If you're new here, my name is Eve Daniels, aka the Nerdy Nanny. And if you're not new here, hi. For those who don't know, I have just moved halfway across the world from South Florida to South Central Sweden for grad school. Because I'm going to be here for a while, I needed to be comfortable here. Thankfully, my dad does have more than one spare room, so he graciously allowed me to kidnap his office. Or should I say my office? This is the one thing that I talked about the last time when I gave you guys an update and let you know that I got here safe and sound, was that I was working on renovating the office space. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably already seen sneak peeks of this at various points in my Insta story or on my timeline. The basic idea was to create a space where I could comfortably work and study for all hours of the day and night whenever I need to. Because my bedroom is on the smaller side, there's no way to get a desk in there. We actually waited on addressing the issue of redoing the office or changing things up in my bedroom until after I got here because we needed to have a better understanding of the kind of space that I would need. Once I got here with all of my stuff, we were able to figure that out. How much hanging space did I need? How much drawer space did I need? How much desk space? Where can we fit in enough room to study versus where am I going to be hanging all of my gigantic and space consuming winter clothes? I am very excited to say we've done it. Remodeling a home office and bedroom right before you start grad school is not something I would normally recommend, but now I would like nothing more than to share with you the final results. However, I don't think you're going to appreciate it unless you know exactly where we started.
This was how the office looked before. A spare bed for when my uncle occasionally came to town, and a desk. There is also another guest room in between in the hall, so we're not losing out on the extra guest space. But that was the first thing we needed to take care of. That bed needed to go. Once the bed was gone, it became a matter of trying to figure out what kind of shelving would work best. My initial thought was to get something from IKEA, possibly with cabinets or shelves where I could store things in the office. We could add bookshelves on the end if we didn't find anything that fit perfectly in order to keep books and other knickknacks. But it quickly became obvious that this just wasn't going to work. There was nowhere near enough hanging space for all of my bulky winter clothes, and quite frankly, I don't have that many knickknacks. When it became obvious how important hanging space was going to be, we started to prioritize that. The initial thought of having a curtain rod run clear along the back wall was discarded because, well, frankly, it might collapse under the weight of the winter clothes. Putting a bookshelf or storage cabinet halfway along the wall would give the hanging rack something to support itself against and provide more cupboard storage. So we started to toy around with that idea. This left the possibility of including cabinets or shelves below on either one or both of these sides, somewhere to keep papers, documents, or just spare socks. Looking at my messy closet all day, however, would not have been an ideal office situation, so we talked about putting curtains in front of the clothes in order to keep things looking neat and clean when I needed to focus. I mean, come on, I'm not actually going to clean my room every day. So, at the end of the first day, we decided this was what we were going to go with. We had a rough outline and an idea of what kind of furniture we needed, and the next day, the scavenger hunt began.
Okay, so this is the closet. Excuse me. There we go. So this, we're gonna spin around and put on that wall here. Sorry for the spinning. This was actually in my dad's basement. He wasn't really using it now, but he's put like winter coats in it before. So at some point, I can put shelves or bins in here. Okay, so here's what we got so far. We got the dresser and the cabinet moved up here. That was a pain in the butt to get up the stairs. We're gonna hang curtain rod so I can hang things. And then an actual curtain rod in front of it, so it's sort of fabric, closet, fabric. We moved the desk over a little, so there's still room to get into that section. Then we move the filing cabinet down here, so that it's over there. My dad's gonna go through his desk and stuff, but look at that view! New plan is, I'm gonna have another cup of coffee, because I feel drunk. My brain is trying to tell me that it's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's not. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning, and I need to get with the program, so I'm gonna stay up. I'm gonna get some coffee, and then I'm gonna start unpacking my stuff so that I can get all of my electronics on charge, because I have an electronic US power switch in here because all my plugs are American. And not, the Swedish plugs are Swedish, so it's a thing. I'll get into that. I'm gonna start unpacking, and the other thing is that once I have unpacked a certain amount into the dresser and closet situation, I'll have a better idea of what I need for storage after that. So, coffee. This is for the closet. This is going to be the surface. Those are the beams that are going behind them, so we don't need to sand those. So I'm just going to get started painting. And we had paint in the house, but I don't know if you can see this. You see that? Like, well, the top, I want to say ½ an inch, had completely solidified. So we had to cut out a circle-sized, like, hockey puck in order to be able to get at the liquid paint. But we did, so I'm gonna use it. Clothes are up. I have most of the stuff sorted. I don't think the shoes are actually going to live there. I'm trying to figure out where things go, and I still somehow have a whole bunch of stuff left to go over. A lot of this is office supplies and bathroom stuff, but I think I'm getting everything sorted. I am putting the winter coats and heavy sweater.
As we were getting the curtain rods up and everything hung up, we were looking at curtain options to put in front, but somehow the whole thing still looked unfinished. It didn't look like a solid piece of furniture, but rather more like we had just stuck curtain rods on the side of a cabinet, which, to be fair, was what we had done. In order to combat this, what we did was actually take a piece of old wood from behind my dad's shed, sand, and paint it. That was the board you saw me working on earlier. The idea was to create a custom cabinet feel without the custom cabinet budget. Once we got that up, it was a matter of finding some curtains at my local secondhand store and purchasing a few shelves for the cabinet from my local Biltema. Think Home Depot, but in Swedish. The last remaining feature was lighting. Lighting is so important anytime you decorate a room. It can completely change the feel of a space, so having recessed lighting in the closet was really important to me. There's a small light on the nightstand over by the mirror, but the biggest improvement was when we installed recessed lighting behind the beam in front of the curtains. It's enough light to actually get around the room comfortably in the evening without being so blinding that I am either on display for all of the neighbors or can't see in the dark hallway. And almost more importantly, it just makes the room feel complete.
The budget for this project is pretty tight.
In total, this project required one white cabinet from my dad's basement, one wooden dresser, which he was previously using out in the hall, one sanded and painted piece of wood, a second sanded and painted piece of wood along the side in order to complete the look, 2 curtain rods, which we found down in the basement, a set of double curtains, which I purchased from a second-hand shop for 20 kroner a piece and 35 kroner a piece, bringing the total cost of the curtains to 110 kroner. The shelving and bin inserts for the cabinets, which cost 120 and 98 kroner a piece respectively. And the recessed lighting used along the back of the whiteboard. Technically, we only bought one at 120 kroner. The second one was found in my dad's basement, but if we had purchased that one as well, that longer piece would have been 160 kroner. Including a couple of little odds and ends and decorative touches, the total comes to 860 kroner for the entire project, which, if you translate it to American dollars, is just under $100. Not bad for a custom-built closet. I am so happy with how this project turned out. I could not believe the space that I have to work with, and it feels incredible to be able to start a new school year with a space that I can call my own, where I have plenty of room to work and study, where I feel comfortable, and where I can keep all of my things without feeling overcrowded or cluttered. Going back to grad school at age 30 is not exactly something I'm taking lightly, so being able to focus on school and school first is a huge step forward for me. It also makes a big difference that we were able to do this with things we had lying around the house. Other than a light, a couple of drawers, and some secondhand curtains, we were able to create a custom closet with just leftover furniture and pieces of wood. This is something that, in the US, I never would have even considered doing. In the States, you go out, you buy a piece of furniture, you use it, and when you don't need it anymore, you get rid of it. Part of that is because I have a smaller house there, but part of it is the consumerism mentality that is so pervasive in American culture. In Sweden, things are just a little bit different. Buying furniture that you don't need for the long term is considered not very environmentally friendly. So you use what you have and you spiff it up from there. And the end result can be amazing.